Hello, everyone, and welcome to this quick class, Church Windows quick class, which today, actually, first, hello, my name is Kelly Ann. Let me introduce myself. I'm the organizer for today's webinar or quick class. Today, we're going to look at the birth date and anniversary reports. They're preset reports within the reporting function. And also, I'll show you how you can mail merge export the information from those out for your newsletter. Before we begin, just a few things. If it's your first time using GoToWebinar, you should have a toolbar on your screen. On that, just along the side, is a little arrow. If you click that arrow, it minimizes it so it's not blocking what I'm showing you on the screen. To see the toolbar again, just click that little arrow and it opens back up. For audio, if you click a plus by any of the areas on your toolbar, it will open up and show you what's on that toolbar. If you click the plus sign for audio, you can choose to use your phone or mic and speakers. If you're using mic and speakers, you do not need a microphone. I won't be unmuting anyone. Rather, Ross is also in the room, and he will be helping answer questions as we go through the material. There is a question panel, and I just see somebody's already asking a question, and I will be answering that in just a few minutes. So if you hold off, I'll answer that question as we work through the birth date reports. Or Ross, if you want to go ahead and answer it, that's fine, but I know I'm going to answer that one in the material today. But Ross will be answering questions as I show you things, and then at the end of the quick class, we'll open it up to throw questions out there that I can answer out loud. So you don't need a microphone to talk to us. You can open that question panel and type in questions. Also, out of respect for everyone coming to learn about that birth date and anniversary report, try to keep your questions to that topic. We'd be happy to answer other questions or questions specific to your data, but usually those are best handled on a support call or emailing your question to support@churchwindows.com. One other thing I'd like to show you is on our website. If somebody else signed you up for this webinar, along the left under Church Windows Training, if you click on Free User Webinars, that takes you to the page where all of these webinars are listed, and you can sign up for as many as you like. This just shows July. August, I know, is coming up. We've already been sent an email with that proposed schedule, and I will be showing you some new things that are coming up in the version 18, which is not out yet. So you're going to be getting some sneak peeks at 18 in August. Also under support, a lot of people aren't aware, the second two things here are our new version resource page. This is a page full of free movies. You can view these from home wherever you like at any time, and they are free. And most of these are from these quick classes. We record them, clean them up, and then put them out on the website for you. So this class is being recorded, and eventually it should be up. The second thing I want to show you under support, the very last thing, is the support blog. If I click on that, it brings up our blog, which across the top you can search by module, or you can type in a keyword and it will take you to any documents with that keyword within it. All right, let's go ahead. I'm going to close this. And I already had Church Windows open just to save us time, but to get our birth date or anniversary report, I clicked on membership, which then brings up our membership portal. Let me go ahead, and we're going to click now on reports because we'd like to look at the birth date report. Now I can do queries through just the regular reports directory export. I can query on the birth date or the anniversary going that route. But if you go down a little here, you see we have a birth date preset report and also an anniversary preset report. And that's what we're going to look at today. And we are going to look at the reporting function of that. We're not going to go into labels or email, but those screens are similar. The end result is a little different. You can create labels or email people with a certain birth date or anniversary. All right, so we're going to first look at birth date. And we'll go to Reports Directory Export. Now, before we look at this, somebody asked how you can get your reports to sort by month, then day, rather than year. Now, the default is to sort by month, then day, and then year. But sometimes you want birth dates or anniversaries or any of your dates to sort by year rather than first by month. If we go into special functions and settings, you'll see in the lower left, let me get my highlighter from my toolbar. I have a second screen here. Lower left, we can sort dates in year, month, day order. So if I check this, then my reports will sort first by year, then by month, and then by day. And I still keep forgetting, we have a note here that tells us labels and reports have this option available on the Sort tab. And there's so many neat features, I forgot that was there. But this is one place you can change that. We do not have it checked, so our dates are going to sort by month, then day, then year. But we'll take a look at that on the Option tab as well. So let's go ahead and go to Reports. And then we'll go to Birth Date. And we're just going to do the Reports Directory Export. Now notice when I pull up my birth date report, that preset report, it automatically in the upper left selects birth date as what I am searching for, and it defaults to the current month it reads from my computer, which it sees it's July 28th. Maybe we want to go ahead and get our August birth date, so we can click the down arrow and change that to August, and then we'd click plus selection to add that criteria. Now if you want something in addition to birth date, you can click and or and go up and add more criteria, but for today we're just looking at how to create this birth date report, a simple basic one. Along the top we can choose our members or visitors. We're not going to be concerned with any donations information, so we're not going to even look at the giving, pledging, or accounts tab, but if you wanted to combine donations information, you would do that there. Now here if we click on the Sort tab, it defaults to sort by birth date, and then if two people were to have the same birth date, it would do a second sort beyond that by name. And lower left, notice here we can check sort dates in year, month, day order. So that is in the lower left of your Sort tab. We're going to go ahead and click Next. And that brings us to our options where we can choose. The first tab we were on really is the People tab, where we pick the people we want as our output. This is what we want from the people we search for in the first screen. Now if I just choose Basic and my basic columnar report on this preset birth date report, it's already set up to provide certain fields. So I'll click Print. This report, the basic columnar report under the birth date report, gives us the individual's name and their birth date, and then a criteria of what we just did. Now if I want to see that year, then upper right here in Report Options, I can check Include Year on Birth Date, and that will print as well. Now I want to show you one more thing. If I hit back and go to my People tab, and I clear that line off, and I try to do maybe age, just say age is blank and plus selection. I haven't done any criteria involving a birth date. If I hit Next, the program tells me birth date list, or remember I went to Reports and Birth Date, that preset birth date report. Birth date list must have at least one birth date selection. So if your search has nothing to do with birth dates, then you need to go through Reports Directory Export. If you go to the actual birth date report, part of that criteria has to include the selection of birth date here in the upper left under Select a Membership field. Now I am going to show you how to do a mail merge or export the data out, but I'll show you how to do that with the anniversary report, because the way you do it for your birth date list or your anniversary report is the same. So let's go ahead and take a look now at Reports and Anniversary. Notice we have the same options here. We can do a report directory export, labels, or email. I'm going to click on Reports Directory Export. Now, I've been using the program, or we have here in the front office for several months, but I want to pull up a Word document I created specifically for this. If it is your first time going into the anniversary report to do any of these things, reports, labels, or email, then you're going to get a little screen. Let me make it a little bigger here for people with eyes. I need new glasses this December. You'll get a little window, define anniversary date. This is basically you telling the program what field you use to indicate someone's marriage date. And you'll click the arrow here on the drop down, and it will look for any field that has the word, I believe, marriage or anniversary, maybe even wedding. But it looks for fields that might have to do with a marriage date. So you just click the down arrow on this. Now this is just a Word document, so obviously I can't show you a list here. And you'll see a list of your different fields that the program thinks might be your marriage date or anniversary date. And all you'll do is click on the field that you use to record someone's anniversary or marriage date, and then you'll say OK. And as you notice, when I go into, let me close this again. When I go into my anniversary reports, or if I did it with labels or email, any of them, now it knows what field I use to record someone's marriage date, and it defaults in the upper left to marriage date as my membership field it's looking at. So here I can choose, we're going to get our August marriage or wedding date, so we'll choose August. Now I could do August through December if I wanted the entire year, but we're just kind of assuming for this that we're doing it for a newsletter and we want to just get a month at a time. Again, we can choose members or visitors at the top. If I click on my sort tab, this preset report defaults to sort first by marriage date, and then after that, if two people had the same marriage date, it would sort by name. And again, in the lower left, I can sort my dates by year first rather than month by just checking sort dates in year, month, day order. We'll go ahead and click next. Now I forgot to click plus selection on that people tab. So when I hit next, the program's asking, do I want that selection, marriage date in the month of August, added? And I do. So we'll say yes. Now brings me to my selections for my report screen, where if I choose basic in the upper left and then choose my basic columnar, actually I'm going to close this and let's do a larger selection so we can see more than just two dates. I'll hit back and I'll remove that and go back up and choose marriage date. And let's do the whole rest of the year. See if we have some more people here. Click plus selection. So we're doing July through December. Hit next. Got a few more people now. I'm going to choose basic and just the basic columnar report and click print. And this brings up a report sorted by month. The anniversary or marriage report, the basic columnar report, is preset to include, you can see their name, their marriage date, and the number of years they're married. Here we have one with an odd year. It's in the future, so that is why the program is not showing us the years married. We obviously need to go edit that to 1998, and then it would show us their years married. Now, if you wanted to add more information to that report, I could go ahead and click New. And I'm going to call my report exactly what it's going to provide. And this, I want name, phone, and their marriage date. So I see my new report name here. And then I can click on Select Fields. This brings up the column selector. I noticed somebody asked about this. Ross wasn't going to go over this, but since somebody asked, I'm going to show it real quick because I do need to show you the mail merge, and that takes a little time. But here's how you can change what is on the report once you search for the people you need. We can't change that basic columnar report. That's why I click New. But here it defaults to show the fields that are on there. So if I want to remove something, and we'll add phone. I'm going to go down and find home phone current as of today and click on it and use the right arrow to move it to the right or into visible columns. And then if I want to change the order, maybe I want to see marriage date first, I can use these arrows along the side to move those up or down. Now, each of these fields, it shows me down along the bottom exactly what that display name is going to be. Maybe I don't want it to say selected in spouse partner last, so I can remove that. And then on home phone, I don't want it to say current as of today, so under display name, I'll remove that. Click OK, and then click print. And now we see on this report, instead of the years married, we see name, marriage date, and home phone. Now, one other thing, the marriage date or anniversary report, really important. Could save you a phone call to us. If you are searching for people with a marriage date and you know there's a couple who should be on your report, two things must exist on their records for the couple to show on the anniversary or marriage report. First, they both need to have a marriage date on their actual records, each individual record, but also this report, basic reports using the spouse field, require directory report order to be filled out correctly. So to pull in both individuals, or even, well, it won't pull either of them in. If it doesn't see a directory report order of primary on one of the individuals and a directory report order of secondary on the second individual. So again, two things have to be present on the records for the individuals to show on the anniversary report. They both need to have the marriage date on their individual record. And one person, typically it's the husband, is coded with a directory report order of primary, and the wife is typically coded with a directory report order of secondary. So if someone is not showing on an anniversary report and you know they should be, check their records and make sure they both have the anniversary or marriage date on their records, and they both have a directory report order, one being primary and one being secondary. All right, let me show you really quickly. Time just goes so fast in these 20-minute classes. How we can mail merge or export this data out for your newsletter or whatever you want to use it for outside of church windows. Up along the top left corner or quadrant, we will put a dot in mail merge export. Then we click the plus sign right here where we normally would see a layout name. Oops, and then type in a name for your export. I'm going to call it my anniversary export. Oops, and I forgot we cannot use spaces in that because this name is what it's going to put at the end of the file name we export out. So let me click OK here. Takes that. Now I see anniversary report in my layout or report options menu. I click the drop down. It's the only one available for mail merge export. Now to tell the program what will be in this mail merge, I can click select fields, and maybe I want their marriage date. Let's see. Maybe I want years married. I'm just going to either double click on the field on the left, or I can single click and click the arrows to move them over. And also you can click the up and down arrows to change the order that they will be in your mail merge. Then I click OK. Now in the upper right quadrant where it says export options, at the end of the file name, I'm going to go ahead and click the box with three dots, which brings up the window where I can browse to where I'd like to put this. I want to click on desktop. And then down along the bottom, open, and now I see it's going to users Kellyanne desktop. I can choose how the information is separated for each record by either a tab or a comma. And I can also here tell it to include the year on anniversary date. Go ahead and check that. Once I'm done there, lower right, I can click on export. And it creates the file, and it tells me it created it, where it created it, And it says, would I like to open that folder? Not the file. It's not going to open the file, but if I say yes, should take me to my desktop where I can see that anniversary report. Now, if I just double click on it here to open it, it is a text document, which is raw data, and that will open in Notepad. However, if you want to open that in Excel or some other format, then I can go ahead and open up Excel. Go up to Start. Now, your version of Word or Excel could be different than ours, so we can try to help you if you call us with the mail merge. We can try to help you with the program outside of Church Windows, but sometimes we're not as knowledgeable and sometimes your version may be different. So here we'd go File and Open, and then I would click on Desktop. That's where I want to look. Excel defaults to look for Excel files, so here I want to tell it all files, or else I can't see that text file on my desktop. And then I can double click on my text file. It brings up my text import wizard. I don't know a lot about Excel. I do know on the second step, here I need to choose tab or comma. It defaults to be tab. Had I exported my data as comma, I would want to change this, but remember I left it at tab. If you know Excel, you can click next and make changes here. I normally click finish, and now it brings in the data. In Excel, if you see number signs, that just means you need to open that cell wider so you can see the information. But here we see all the information we asked for these individuals. All right. So that's how we do an export. I think, let me see. Yes, I have covered everything I wanted to show you for the birth date report and for the anniversary report. So, I think it is, I'm sorry, it's 2:22 according to the phone clock, which is correct. If you can see the time in the lower right of the computer, it's off by a few minutes. So I'm sorry I went over a little bit, but Ross and I can stick around and answer more questions. I see a question that has not been answered yet, so let me look at that. It says, what if one spouse is not a member of the church and you do not have them included in the database, but you want to show their anniversary? What do you have to do what do you have to do to make that date appear? If you want that date to appear, the actual anniversary report, by going to the preset report, that has to have a primary and secondary person both with an anniversary on their record. So if you have a single person or a married person where only one of them's in Church Windows and you want to show their marriage date, you would have to go through Reports Directory Export and do your query here. You might want to give us a call on that because it won't do that specific preset anniversary report. But we can walk you through adding the fields you need and showing what you want on that report. But the actual anniversary report, you do have to have both the primary and secondary in the same household with a marriage date on their record. But you can still get them on a report. You just have to go a little different route, going through Reports Directory Export and doing your query there. All right, are there more questions? Not seeing any more come in. So if you're in the middle of typing a question, go ahead and hit enter and then finish typing because I don't want to close the room while somebody's in the middle of compiling their question or typing it out. Now again, this webinar is being recorded, so it will be put up on the website on the version resources once it gets cleaned up and standardized. Somebody asked, where do you get to the settings screen to change the date sort? Two places you can do that. You can do it right here on the membership portal by going to Special Functions and then Settings. And then in the lower left, we have sort dates in year, month, day order. Or if I'm actually in the report screen, birth date, anniversary, any of those, and I click on the sort tab in the upper left, in the lower left of the sort screen, we can check sort dates in year, month, day order. So two places you can do that. You can do it right on the report you're running, or if you want it to stay permanently for all your reports until somebody wants to change it, you could do that in special function settings. Good question. Any other questions? All right. I'm not seeing any other questions coming in. Um, so again, I'm about to close the room. So if you have a question, hit enter to send at least half of it, and then you can type the rest out. That way I won't close the room on you while you're in mid-type. All right. If there are no more questions, then thank you so much for joining us. Again, really quickly, if someone else signed you up for this group and you aren't aware that we have user groups going on throughout the month on all kinds of topics, if you look on our website under Church Windows Training, the last item is free user webinars. If you click on that, brings you to the current month schedule. So we do have a few more this month. Actually, one Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So one every day. I will be teaching the Thursday one. Some other techs teaching the Wednesday and Friday. And we should have the list of topics up for August very soon because I know I have a one that is a little preview or sneak peek at version 18 next Tuesday. So I hope you learned something new from this. And again, thank you for attending this user group. Sign up for as many as you like. I'm going to go ahead and close the room. Thanks again. Have a great day. Bye.